solving proportions is going to be our next lesson. What is a proportion? So a proportion is an equation, so remember an equation has an equal sign right there, stating that two ratios or rates are equal. So our first ratio has 4 to 6. It says it equals 16 to 24. So if I multiply these two together, 4 times 24 is 96. And if I multiply these two together, 6 times 6 is also 96. So what shows that these two are equal. What is cross products? Okay, the product of 4 times 4 and 8 times 2, and A and D and C and B are called cross products of the proportion. Okay, your cross products of any proportion are equal. So cross products will help you when using proportional reasoning to solve a problem. So for example, they had 4 over 2 and 8 over 2. So they circled the 4, so these 4s are cross products. The 8 and the 2 are cross products. They're across from each other. This one, A and D are across from each other, and C and B are across from each other. So if you multiply those together, they will always equal each other. So how to solve proportions? So you first need to find the cross products. Then you need to multiply your cross products together. Once you multiply your cross products, you're going to have a variable, so you need to get your variable alone by dividing so you know what is missing in that proportion. Let's take a look at some examples. So we have B over 15 equals 66 over 90. So we need to figure out what this value of B is. So if you looked at what we were talking about earlier, cross products are always equal. So we can use cross products to figure out what that value is. So the cross products of this problem are B and 90 and 15 and 66. So you have B times 90 equals 15 times 66. So B times 90 is just 90B. And then 15 times 66 is going to be 990. So if I want to figure out what the value of B is, this is a one-step equation. If you remember from last year, you have to do the opposite to get B alone. We want to get 1B. So the only way we can get 1B is dividing. So if I divide on this side, I need to divide on this side. So B equals B will equal 11. So if I plug this in, I will have 11 over 15 equals 66 over 90. So this is the same thing you would do maybe from elementary school. You say 15 times what equals 90, and you would probably say 6. Then you can say, oh, then what does 11 times 6 equal? Which would give you 66. But in this case, you would have had to work backwards and divided it by 6 to figure it out. So you can either use cross products or that way, but if you look at our next example, that's not going to be easy to figure out. So that's why we use cross products, because it's a little bit easier. So our second example, we have 7 over 14 equals C over 12. So looking at this example, here's our cross products, C and 14, and here's our cross products, 7 and 12. Because you can't do 7 times something, or 14 times something to get 12, or 14 divided by something to get 12. So that little trick I showed you right here is not going to be too helpful. So that's what we're going to use our cross products. So you have 7 times 12 equals 14 times C. So 14 times C will just be 14C. And then 7 times 12 will give us 84. So again, we want to get 1C. We want to know what that C equals. So I need to divide it because that's the opposite of multiplying. If I divide this side to get C by 14, I need to divide this side by 14. So this will give me 6. So I have 7 over 14 equals 6 over 12. So the value of C will give us 6. And we'll be doing some more examples with this tomorrow. Here's an example of a word problem. Mrs. Hidalgo paid $30 for 4 students to visit an art museum. We want to find out the cost for 20 students. So, some careful hints to remember. Make sure to compare quantities in the same order. So just like set up your ratios like you would in our last couple of units that we've been doing. Then you need to find the what's missing and use a variable. So if we have Mrs. Delgado paid $30 for 4 students, that should be easy. We have $30 for 4 students. Okay, we want to know the cost for 20 students. Okay, make sure they match up. Okay, we want to know the cost for 20 students. So we want to know how much will it cost. If it's proportional, that means it should be the same cost per kid. So we can use that X right there. And you can use your cross products. Or you can do this. 4 to 20 is you're going to times it by 5. So I'm going to times this by 5. So it's going to be for $150. Not all of them are going to be that easy. Or we can do our cross products. Okay, we have 30 and 20 and 4x. So this is going to be 4x equals your 30 times 20, which is 600. Okay, to get x alone, you need to divide it by 4. So x will equal 150. So you're going to pay $150 if you bring 20 kids. So either way, either strategy is good. The cross products will work all the time. This way of making equivalent fractions will work most of the time. Some of them will be easy and some will be hard. So whatever works best for you. We'll be practicing a lot more in class tomorrow.